Hi, I'm Brianna.
And I'm Akira.
And you're watching
Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Well, Anthony Joshua, he does it again. Very impressive fashion, knocking out Eric Molina in 3 rounds. Now, one of the main things that stands out is the fact that clearly Anthony Joshua, he was able to do something that Deontay Wilder couldn't do with Eric Molina, and that is dispose of him with quick ease. Now, Deontay Wilder, he knocked out Eric Molina as well, but we all know that Deontay Wilder, he had a much tougher time with Eric Molina. And matter of fact, Deontay Wilder, he even said himself, he said, you know, this could be a tough fight for Anthony Joshua because Deontay Wilder knew firsthand how difficult of an opponent Eric Molina was. Now, what surprised me in this fight is, as durable as Eric Molina is, he was very, very timid and reluctant at this entire fight. And you would have to attribute that to Anthony Joshua. The last heavyweight champion, at least that I can remember, that instilled an enormous amount of fear in his opponents was Iron Mike Tyson. And I truly believe, not saying that this guy is Mike Tyson, but I truly believe that Anthony Joshua is a 6'5" or 6'6" Mike Tyson today. I mean, we see the bad intentions, we see the killer instinct inside of Anthony Joshua. You see him in there bobbing and weaving like Mike Tyson. And how crazy is that? A 6'6" guy in there bobbing and weaving. He also shows a great defense, which is something else that Mike Tyson had. You know, Mike Tyson's defense was very underrated. A lot of people don't know this, but Mike Tyson, statistically, he had a much better defense than Muhammad Ali did. So Anthony Joshua is looking very impressive right now. Now, with Joshua possessing 18 knockouts in a row, and before the Eric Molina fight, Anthony Joshua had knocked out 5 undefeated fighters in a row. And out of the 5 heavyweights that he knocked out, one was an undefeated champion, and another one was an undefeated nemesis that actually beat Anthony Joshua and the amateurs. Another equally talented undefeated prospect at the time in Dillian Whyte. And Anthony Joshua was able to deal with adversity by getting hurt in that fight, rallied back, and knocked out Dillian Whyte. The reason why I say all of this is because it's a shame that Anthony Joshua has accomplished all of this, and because he's on a coincidental list, he still doesn't get the same type of credit he would get if he was on the hope list, if you know what I'm talking about. Now, don't get me wrong, Anthony Joshua is being praised and he's a superstar in his own country in the UK. But the point that I'm making is Anthony Joshua goes in there and gets impressive knockout after impressive knockout, and he still doesn't get the type of reception in the United States that a foreigner like Gennady Golovkin gets in the United States. And people can't say, oh, it's because Anthony Joshua, he ain't fought nobody, because even when Gennady Golovkin was knocking out Marco Antonio Rubio, the fans were praising him like he was knocking out Andre Ward or Sergey Kovalev. So we know what time it is. And something else fans need to realize. When you're in the heavyweight division, everyone has power. Okay? It's not like the middleweight division where you could just have one guy who's very strong and there's really not too many other guys that, you know, can match this guy's power. In the heavyweight division, almost everyone is a very hard puncher. I mean, you got Deontay Wilder, who often fights guys that are 20 pounds bigger than he is. Anthony Joshua was in there with Dylan White, a guy who can seriously crack. The point that I'm making is, once again, Anthony Joshua does not have this massive strength and size advantage or power advantage over the majority of his opponents. And I'm not trying to say all of these guys hit just as hard as Anthony Joshua. The point I'm making is it's a lot more balanced. It's a little bit more even or closer to being even when you're facing other heavyweights. The way the fight ended in the third round, I was really impressed with how Anthony Joshua set up that overhand right. Because Eric Molina, I told you guys, he was really passive. He was really defensive. He was holding a lot, and it really reminded me of a guy in the ring with Mike Tyson, because that's how the majority of Mike Tyson opponents fought him. Now, what was really impressive about how Anthony Joshua ended the night in that third round was, once again, like I said before, how he set up the overhand right and dropped Eric Molina. Molina kept going into this unorthodox crab shell type of defense. If you guys recall George Foreman, he would use it every once in a while, especially when he fought against Evander Holyfield. So this is the type of defense that Molina was trying to use. He basically put his arm across his face. And what Anthony Joshua did was so clever, because Anthony Joshua, he threw somewhat of a left hook, left uppercut. But it was really just thrown just to kind of move Eric Molina's arm out the way. And then right after he threw that uppercut, he came right back with the overhand right. And the overhand right, it went straight down the pipe and it hit Eric Molina right on the chin. And that was pretty much a wrap from that point on, because when Eric Molina fell, you know, the referee, I feel he probably should have stopped the fight, because if you read Eric Molina's body language, clearly Molina did not want to continue, and it's understandable. So it was almost sad that Eric Molina had to get back up because the referee wasn't able to read his body language the proper way, just for Molina to get pummeled even further. So I was really impressed with how Anthony Joshua, he puts his intelligence together with his aggression. And now he's going to be fighting against Vladimir Klitschko next April 29th, which should be another huge fight for 2017. There's a lot of big fights that we'll see in 2017, and this is by far one of the biggest. So I'll talk a little bit more about that fight in another video. That's pretty much all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
This is Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.